Huge day for you, huge day for Uber. Tough day to go public. There's a lot of red on the board, trade talks on the rocks. The opening price seems to keep dropping. We're still waiting for that first trade, though. How are you feeling about this?
I mean, we're seeing a lot of pressure in the broader market overall, given some of the macro events that are going on right now. But I think it's important to recognize that while today is the first day for Uber as a public company, they're in it for the long haul. So we'll see how investor demand sets up for the years to come.
Now, you've been in it for the long haul leading up to this, and I'm so curious, how long has your relationship with Uber been? What went into winning this IPO and developing that relationship?
Yeah, our broader team has had a long-standing relationship with Uber for a long time, going back several years. And I personally have gotten more involved with Uber over the past year since I stepped into this role. So it's a long process, right? You work together to figure out how can we help them be the most successful possible public company out there.
So tell us what goes into sort of wooing a big company. I mean, this is the biggest IPO of the year so far.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes first is what are they trying to achieve with a public offering, and understanding their goals, and then being able to leverage our resources and tools to help them be most successful. So that's part of the process, and talking to them, understanding what they need, and then working with them on delivering a day that showcases them in a way that gives them maximum visibility is an important part of the process.
Lyft's had a rocky opening, big first day pop on the NASDAQ, stock down, though down below its IPO price, down below its private valuation. How much have you been watching what happened with Lyft to figure out how to run the day?
Every company is unique, and so each company is going to have their own experience in the public markets. They have their own investor base. They have their own teams that are working on that project. So I really focus on how we can help them. Uber here now. I think if you look at the long term, and let's take a step back. 10 years ago, nobody heard of Uber. I mean, you heard of them
Yes.
just about 10 years ago. You've been working with them
Yes.
for 10 years. But they were new and they just started. Now it's hard to find a person who doesn't have an Uber app on their phone. And so this is a long game. They completely revolutionized mobility. And over that 10 years, they've really built a platform. So we're excited to see what's going to come next and how that platform will be put to use.
A lot of IPOs so far this year, and you've had some of the biggest ones, Pinterest, for example. That said, given the market conditions, how does that affect companies' readiness to list, willingness to list? Do you think we're going to see a slowdown?
No, I think what we've seen actually, when the fourth quarter volatility picked up a lot, we saw a lot of companies starting to get ready to become public because they wanted to make sure that when they felt like the time was right for them, they were ready. So we saw that work happening throughout the first quarter. Despite the government shutdown, a lot of work went into getting that process ready. And now in the second quarter, we're seeing a lot of those companies come to the public markets. We've had some big names, as you mentioned already, Pinterest, PagerDuty, Uber today, we saw Levi's, we saw many others, and coming next will be the next wave.
The direct listing phenomenon, Slack's going direct. How does that impact you? I mean, is that a loss?
The direct listing is a really interesting. In fact, the New York Stock Exchange is really uniquely positioned to help facilitate that trade, because what they're saying is we're going to have that first opening trade on the exchange be a price discovery process, much like we're seeing happen here with Uber, but without the offering the night before. And so that's a process that is overseen by the designated market maker here at the NYSE in conjunction with some advisors of the banks and the overall interest in the market. Spotify pioneered that offering process, or that non-offering process last year, and we'll see Slack take that same approach too.
All right.
It's really interesting.